Now, in terms of buds, we've all heard the stories, right? What was the hardest part for you? Was it the cold water? What gave you the most trouble in buds?
What gave me the most trouble was the runs. The runs were just brutal, you know what I mean? Like, there's not enough, like, people like live, they work out, they train, they work out, you know, they lift weights. And I'm always like, don't lift weights if you're going to the SEALs. Like, you know, there's plenty of time to get jacked in the SEAL teams later on. But man, the running was just treacherous for me in the deep sand. As a big guy, as a muscle-up guy, they called me the USS Watson. I was just slugging it out on the swims, slugging it out on the runs, throwing up everywhere. And man, there was one time I was getting gooned all the time with the 200-pounders and above. And the instructors are always laughing at you because you're just this big guy just getting smashed out there. And I can remember, man, I was like this close to failing a run. It was my last chance to pass this 4-mile run. And they've designed these runs to where you've got to run as hard as you possibly can, the hardest you've ever ran in your life for the 4 miles. Like, no matter how big you are, no matter how small, it's all tough within a certain time constraint. And every single month in buds, it gets worse and worse. They reduce the times, right? And so on this particular run, I was like 30 seconds away from the end. Everybody was counting down 30, 29. Your whole class is rooting for you, but you got the instructors right on your ass with the truck, and they're like, you're never gonna make it, with the intercom, you know? And he's like, Jimmy, say goodbye to your dream. And it's like 15, 14. And dude, I still got like a full minute to cross that finish line. And so I knew it was over for me. But I thought, I ain't never gonna live this life with regret. I'm gonna go and my heart's just gonna explode. I'm gonna throw up everywhere, bright red. And so I was heaving, I was just, and I was running as hard as I could. And all of a sudden, from the crowd of my class, they're counting down, and I know I'm not gonna make it. But all of a sudden, the fastest guy out of the class broke the line and ran to me. And as I'm running, man, he runs right behind me, and the instructor's like, you know, don't touch him, don't touch him. And he runs and he puts his hand right in the middle of my back and just put it on overdrive. And he pushed me, and I crossed the finish line just with literally like a second.